Hey, folks. It is Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. You're listening to The Daily Leisure Show, and I'm your host, Dennis Sert. Great to be here with you tonight. It's been a little bit since I've gone live. I made a move. I moved to a different city, but we're back now, and I'm excited to be here. This show is going to be a little bit quick and dirty, but it should be fun. And yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Really helps the show out. And share with all your friends. We're going to get into a few things here today. We're going to talk about OpenAI amends AI deal with the Pentagon. ChatGPT uninstalls surged by 295% after Department of Defense deal. Apple unveils new MacBook Air and MacBook Pro with M5. TikTok down for some in US thanks to second Oracle outage since sale. Cool. All right, well, let's get into our first story here. OpenAI amends AI deal with the Pentagon. So Altman is in this bind, basically with kind of the fallout of the Department of Defense and Trump kind of posting on Truth Social against Dario Modi, Anthropic, saying we don't need him. We're kind of disassociating ourselves from Anthropic. And there's like a 6-month kind of ease out period. And then they also kind of set essentially like named them a supply chain risk. So any company that works with Anthropic cannot work with the US government. So there was a lot of drama that happened kind of last weekend. And so in the midst of that, Altman kind of popped in and kind of took that deal with the government. So Dario Modi, as we know, kind of rejected the deal because of apparently he was against mass domestic surveillance and automated weapons. It's a little silly that he's against mass surveillance because that's already going on, right? So it's not really anything new. I mean, we've covered on the show how like it's in the Samsung smart TV terms of service that like it can essentially just listen to you. I mean, that's kind of how everything works. Like, hey Siri, right? Hey Google, all that stuff. It's like the reason why it's able to kind of awaken to like wake words is because it is always listening to you, right? And that just gets processed in a server, right, in the cloud. Anyways, so it's like all of this is already happening. So, it's really funny that he's just like, at the brink of a huge deal with the government. He's just like, no, I won't be doing surveillance. Meanwhile, just everyone's surveilling literally every network request, every word you utter, ridiculous. But what's interesting is that there was a lot of fallout. So ChatGPT uninstalls surged by 295% after Department of Defense deal. So a lot of people started uninstalling ChatGPT as a result of that deal, the government. And then Anthropic ended up surging actually and Claude ended up becoming the top app, like on the App Store, the top. So basically, it overtook ChatGPT as the most popular app in Apple's App Store for the very first time. So it kind of passed a Rubicon where Anthropic essentially, for all intents and purposes, crossed OpenAI. It's worth noting, not based off of weekly active users or monthly active users. So I want to revise what I said last week. It's actually the 1.2 billion figure is actually the monthly active users. The weekly active users is for OpenAI is at like for ChatGPT rather is like at 800 million. But anyways, so that's kind of what's going on. Consumers are also sharing their opinions about OpenAI's deal in the App Store ratings, where one-star reviews for ChatGPT surged 775% on Saturday, then grew 100% day over day on Sunday. 5-star reviews declined during the same period, dropping by 50%. Of course, well, TechCrunch has a huge left bias. And they're jumping all around. They're having a field day right now, but that is what's happening, though. Yeah, ChatGPT and OpenAI really kind of got screwed a little bit just with the backlash. And then Altman was saying that he looked a little sloppy. He said we were genuinely trying to de-escalate things and avoid a much worse outcome, but I think it just looked opportunistic and sloppy. Good learning experience for me as we face higher stakes decisions in the future. Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to do what you have to do. And so he kind of just jumped in there and took that deal. I was kind of surprised that Anthropic got in bed with the US government before OpenAI, but that's only because Palantir uses Anthropic for a lot of their stuff. I guess, I mean, who knows? Now, I guess they'll have to phase out because I don't think Palantir is going to drop the US government as a client. So I think they'll be forced to not use Anthropic 6 months from now. So, and that's for Palantir, but anyways. Okay. Apple unveils new MacBook Air and MacBook Pro with M5. Apple announced its new slate of laptops on Tuesday morning, including new MacBook Air and MacBook Pro models that use the Apple's M5 chip. So, great. New MacBooks, they're 4 times faster than the M4s. Okay. I mean, sure, I guess. AI. TikTok down for some in US thanks to second Oracle outage since sale. There's been so many outages happening, just like Claude. Anthropic had an outage yesterday. It's been so slow. Like today, it's just been incredibly slow. Apparently, it's because an AWS server just got essentially hit by a missile or something like that. And or just like blew up. And that's what essentially caused the Claude outage. Let me see if I can back that up real quick. Claude outage, AWS server blow up. Yeah, that's what I heard. Fire at Amazon Middle East data center causes Claude and ChatGPT downtime. Yeah. A fire at an Amazon data center affected by tensions in the Middle East has disrupted operations for major technological products like Claude and ChatGPT, hosted by AWS. Multiple availability zones in the Middle East are facing severe disruptions after a fire caused by external objects striking a data center led to a total power shutdown. Yeah, that's an interesting way to name a missile, but okay. AWS says it will take a while to recover. Really? But yeah, so rumor has it that's why Claude went down the other day. But yeah, so I mean, a lot of things are kind of going down. So I guess Oracle included. It's kind of crazy. Oracle has not yet identified the cause of Tuesday's outage. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's definitely not related to the Claude outage caused by the missile to the servers. But yeah, anyways, there's a lot going on. I'm gonna stay in my lane here. I'm a good boy. The AI and the tech focus here. I'm not really interested in making the live stream about too deep into politics. But yeah, it's very, very wild. We're keeping an eye on it. Okay. I think we're gonna end it here. just did quick and dirty stream today. We're going to get into the groove of things here. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.